Hello everyone, welcome back to Motion RC. I'm James and I'm all by myself today. That's why the setup is a little different. I'm going to be handling all the live stream stuff because we're going to be going through the community, doing the spin the wheel, doing all the stuff we normally do on a Friday. But Alex is on his it is his bachelor party this weekend, so he's somewhere in Vegas, hopefully doing all right today. So as we said, so it's just me today. I'm looking at the comment section, make sure you guys hear me. I see levels, but trying to test it while I'm going. I tested it before. I thought things were doing well, so we'll have to see on that. Let me just change this here. But yeah, so interesting show we have today. Obviously, since I'm alone, but not really that factor. If anybody follows our Facebook community, if you've been on the show, you probably saw earlier in the week that a dear community member of ours is dealing with, had a big issue over the weekend. John Killen, you guys know him from his F4s. I can share, who John is by this picture alone. Kind of says the story. He's our F4 man. He was working on his fifth one, keeping us updated. And unfortunately, over, I guess, last weekend, I think it was, I found out, I believe, Monday, that, unfortunately, let me get the picture. Unfortunately, this happened over the weekend. His barn, which stored not just all his RC equipment, but all his, boy toys. This probably had a lot of stuff in it. Happened to burn as such. He shared that picture out, so it's definitely devastating to see. As of right now, I don't think the cause has been fully determined, but I know in the RC world, when you're dealing with RC, the immediate thought is always a lipo. Might have went up and started the whole thing, but right now I don't think there's any we don't have any sort of confirmation on that. But I thought it was a good whenever you see something like this, it's always good to have a bit of a safety refresher, if you will. So that's what I was hoping to start this show out, is just you guys throwing out some ideas. I mean, again, this not necessarily was a lipo fire, but we've seen things like this happen before in the past. And for it to happen to a guy like John, to one of our own, this show is geared around our community. That's just terrible all around. So put things in the comments. What are some of the things you do with your lipo batteries? Special things you do for storage. What are you doing around your charging area? Things like that. Get them in the comments, because I'd love to go through these comments later and make a quick tip video that even delves a little more into safety. I know there's a lot of videos out there, and mine would just add more to the mix, but hopefully if my video can be seen, our video can be seen, by people who might not have seen the other ones. That kind of information is always good for everybody, and be great if it was community driven, because I could say, hey, here are the top 10 things that, our own customers, our watchers, use, and even better, use the link in the description. If you have pictures of your charging setups, how you store your lipos, things like that, I'd love to see them. If you could share them on Hobby Squawk, there's a link in the description of this video to the thread, the Hobby Squawk thread, where I'd immediately get it, or share it up on Facebook, completely up to you. But I think it's a good, it's a good thing to talk about, every once in a while. Everybody needs a refresher. I think what I'm doing with my lipo batteries is perfect, but I'm probably making mistakes. I'll probably get ideas, but I'm pretty diligent as far as my storage of my lipos and keeping them storage charged, and I treat them very carefully, because they scare me to death. I've seen them go up, and there's nothing you could do when it happens. You sort of just gotta ride it out, which is tough. But anyway, so back to John Killen. Here's what I want to do today, since it is community driven. We want to get an F4 in this man's hands. So what we want to do today on today's show, I know we don't ask for super chats, but we're going to price match, just for today, any super chats that are donated. We want to try to get to half the price of an F4, a battery, and a receiver. I'd love to be able to send one of those out to John Killen today, because I think when you're dealing in a situation like this, the fact that he lost his escape, if you will, like, you know, obviously all the stress that's going to be coming with it, just being on the phone, the amount of times he's probably going to have to be explaining the situation is stressful enough. The man needs to be able to go out and fly, and I want him to go out and fly an F4 because that's his favorite, and I want to see him update, you know, finish that F4. I don't think he ever got the decals on that other one, so hopefully we'll try to talk to Callie maybe too. But, you know, I'd love to see him to be able to customize and get him started, because I think John's going to be the type of guy that this isn't going to, you know, bring him down. So what I'm thinking is if we could get to about $300 today, then that should do it, you know, and that would be awesome. So if you're out there, guys, and you want to support, I'm definitely going to throw in. I'm so busy with everything. I'll throw in by the end of the show if you guys want to watch me do it on my phone. But there you go. George Watts, thank you so much. I see Bill Detcher already, $5. And you don't have to, once we hit the number, I can see the number. You know, I'm not going to ask you to keep going and so forth. But it's just awesome. So right now we got, there you go, Blues Dragon. Thank you so much. Seeing the people come in. So, hey, anything, $1. The fact that you did $5 is amazing, Blues Dragon. You know, I just want to show that, you know, we have a community here that can at least, you know, people can fall back on. I remember a few years ago, if you guys remember, we weren't doing the live show at that point, but, you know, we had our two F-22s were taken out of the Motion RC tent at Jonal, of all places. And, you know, the unfortunate thing about it was both F-22s were not Motion RC's property. One was. The other one was bought by, was a present for a kid. It was 14-year-old Steve Hodges' son, whose F-22 got disappeared. But within about an hour, a guy at the field started a GoFundMe, spread it on Facebook. Within an hour, we got that kid sent out an F-22. So he went from sad to super stoked. But either way, I've seen the community rally around things like that, and John's a great guy, even though I've never met the man in person. He's here every week. He's a big part of the show. I mean, his content has dominated shows. I even throw in some F4 emojis for all my members, the F4 emojis there, because he's the F4 man, and woo, let's call out some of these. Antoine, John Graham, Just Enough RC, Rodney Mustard, P51D Fan, Jose Arzu, $10. Alpha hitting up Brandon Phelps. Oh, thank you so much, guys. And I don't have the ability to, I have to sort of add it up in my head. Running tally. I see 250, so that's already 100, so we're close. 25, 30, 35, 55, 65, 75, 80, another 20s, 100, that's 200, 10, 20, 30. I think we're at 230 already, so 70 more bucks, and we should be good to go. Either way, Wings88, if you want, there's a super chat button somewhere on the chat box in YouTube that where the money, you know, where the money would go to. 20 bucks from Viper Joe 1. And then Dad's Hanger, member for 6 months. Those pop up so randomly all the time. Love it. So now we're at 245. I think we're at 245. Oh no, 255. So we need another 45 bucks. Wow. It just went really quick. Thank you so much, everybody. You know, I'll be so pumped that when this show's over to be able to get that out. Because John, keep me refreshed. I think I saw you're a Futaba man, correct? And I think you have a new transmitter already. So it'll be a Futaba receiver, of course. High performance, probably a gray one, so that you can, if you want to continue back to the one you did, or if you're gonna have to resurrect one you've already done. 10, 20. Wow, we are there. All right, chat revenue, we're good, guys. We passed the marker. So I would ask everybody, if you haven't, you don't have to put anything in anymore. But it's incredible that I knew that was gonna happen so fast. So John Killen, you're going to have a new F4 with a battery and a receiver on the way to you, and I hope the little bit that, you know, this helps, you know, start the rebuild process, and we sure hope you weren't going to lose your entire passion for RC and want to give it up, you know, because you've been, you know, you've gotten so far, you know, you can get back to where you were. But again, guys, thank you guys for all those chats, and at this point, we will now transition, and I got to see if I can even transition. Let's see how we do this here. We're going to the Facebook community. Sorry, guys. Just want to make sure I do this right. I'm not used to doing this. But here we go. That pops up. That looks good. Boom. And now we're in the Facebook portion of the show. So, guys, again, you do not have to add any more. We got what we needed. We hit the goal. And I thank you guys all so much. So, you guys are all incredible. And, Victor, well, we'll see. You know, we'll see. We didn't want to, we didn't want to go too crazy. But I also too, if somebody if somebody wants to start an actual GoFundMe and throw it up on the customer community, I'm sure that would, be a big help to him too. Because I can imagine insurance probably cover the cars and the boats and stuff, but all those little things, that's where you're getting into the minutia, and that's just not going to be fun. So, let's get started, though. We're going to start with our Facebook customer community today, and we've got Jeff Holland showing up with a Freewing A4 Skyhawk. Absolutely love this scheme. The Lady Jessie was cool to see that popped up, and here's the man himself with his bird. So, Jeff Holland, I've seen you on the show a couple times now. You've made it, and I like to see that. For sure. It's a good-looking scheme you did on her, and here's another shot from the other side. But then also, you pulled at my heartstrings. I love a good pull from a slingshot. So here he was. He shared this video of, I think that's the F-18, the 4S F-18, the 64 millimeter. Man, I love those slingshots. I want to watch it again. Can I watch it again? Transition out. Nope, I can't play it back again. I go to something else. I gotta figure this out better next time, but I love it. Jeff Holland looks awesome. Then we go to James Parker, guys. I don't know if Brent Hecht is in the show today. I didn't see him pop up in the chat, but you guys all know Brent, and Brent does a lot of great work, Brent Hecht. And James Parker is copying some of his ideas. He's reaming out. He opened up the holes on his F-18 to get more air intake because he's going to a 10S setup. I just thought that looked really cool, and I'm excited. I hope he gets some video, but I mean, he really widened that out. That's pretty awesome. So I'll be excited to follow this one. Oh my God, Jeremy Salt. Dude. That's unbelievable. Jeremy Salt just donated $500. That's crazy. Incredible. We're gonna talk with Alpha about this and figure out after. It's hard to figure out live on the show what we're gonna do, but that definitely accounts for something more. We didn't ask for that, but unbelievable. What just happened there, and I lost my train of thought. John Killen, you are loved, sir. I hope you know it, man. When we all saw that fire, we probably all thought about our little man caves and our escapes from reality. And for that to happen, that's absolutely unbelievable. I'm so happy you're a member of this community. And I hope you are now too, because that's awesome. And I'm going to continue back on. Wow, Jeremy, that's unreal. Gary Merkel shared just a picture of, a bunch of his jets, even some not ours, all good, but I always like to see little squadrons and fleets being shared of, love it all, fly what you like. But I would like to replace that middle one with a Vulcan at some point. Never know. But then we had Duval Snoqualmie. This is Snow Valley Park. He won the Vulcan a couple weeks back, and he got it. And he shared some pictures, so he's a sub-spin and winner. And I don't think he had ever flown an EDF jet. And he has a really rough grass field that he says is really holy. And we'll see how it goes from there. But Snow Valley Park, I'm glad you got your Vulcan. It's looking sharp. And fantastic, man. And we want to get you flying. Once you get that thing in the air, I think you're going to get hooked on EDFs. Like most of the people in this chat probably are. I saw this one pop up on, I think Arthur RC posted about his flying his Corsair, which you'll see in the YouTube section a little later on. But then Clint Sims dropped this one on, and I feel like I've seen it before, but I still had to show it again because sometimes it's brand new again to me, and I absolutely love the Ramblin' Wreck scheme on this Corsair. I love the two-tone blues, you know, almost like a mix between the birdcage and the original. And the navy, if you will. I love it. It's always my my famous one. GB, unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Then we got Brent Hecht. If you know Brent, again, this is you know, he's great at hex speed. There he is. There you are, because you have the A4 in the blue scheme, and you get these incredible glass finishes on these aircraft, the way you finish them off. And hex speed, you know, he talks about this on his channel. I believe you have a couple videos that, you know, that show how you accomplish this. And, you know, if you really want to go to the next level, you're looking at it right there. I mean, you could see yourself in the wing. He did say at one point, though, I believe, you said this one on your way home, it got a little too warm in the car. It was under a blanket, and one of the sides bubbled up. I had that happen to me at a show a while back. I had them all under the tent and didn't realize the shade had just peeked out over the wing of I think my Tiger Cat, and you know, 10 minutes go by and it's done. It's all popcorn. But either way, that's a beautiful looking free-wing F-18 in a Blue Angel scheme, and that was a base gray, I believe. He turned into a blues, so he didn't just update the blues we already have. I believe that's a base gray one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks awesome. And then you're working on the T-33 as well. And man, if they ever rescheme the T-33, just take the silver one and do that, I'd love it. That looks absolutely fantastic too. The orange, just enough, you know. It's almost like you're using the orange from the German version, and then just slapping it on the trainer version of that. But both aircraft are awesome and looking really good. And we got Just Plain Crazy. Brandon McCormick just shared one awesome picture. He always gets a couple really nice pictures, and that's just a solid shot of his MiG-29. I like the composition, the lighting on that. Looks really fantastic. And again, Just Plain Crazy. Got a great thing going on over there, and he is always on the road. He's always posting his trailers, you know, set up, and he's traveling around and flying all the time, and you know, awesome, absolutely awesome. Then we got for the thumbnail, I saw this image come through on Facebook, and I thought just a beautiful shot there. Got Bill Pence and Bob Groves, you know, with their Vulcans. Both enjoyed their maidens, flying them around, so it's always nice to see two in the wild. And that's the winner of the thumbnail, even though it's not a competition. But, you know, sometimes it's a picture we do, and sometimes it's one you're going to see in the show. But looks good, guys. Thanks for sharing that. And Walter Walker with a Mirage. Now, I'm not sure, was this the original Mirage scheme? And then, because I by the time I arrived here, it's been 4 years. My 4-year anniversary was September 1st. Actually, I've been here 4 years, and the Mirage re-release with the Tiger Meat was one of the within the first year I was here. So I never really saw it on this one. Harry Miller. Yeah, I mean, we did some videos on the MiG thrust vectoring. I know other guys have it out there, for sure. It's fun. It works really well. I'm just not the best thrust vectoring pilot, so I can't, you know, I don't demonstrate it the way it can be, but, you know, unfortunately. But there's definitely content out there. Should be, anyway. I'm sure other people have, you know, a lot of people have put thrust vectoring on their MiGs. But either way, good-looking Mirage, Walter Walker. Thanks for sharing it. Then we moved to Tim Doss, just showing off his free wing collection. Said he has, which one did you say? I think you said you had an F-16 just off the side out of the picture or something, but, oh no, there it is. Maybe you have a different one. F-15, I think? F-15 it was off the side, but looking good. And then somebody called you out for not having an A4, so what's the deal? But either way, Tim Doss, looking great, man, and we thank you for the share. Now, Stuart Simpson, there's some nice, like, up-close shots. He's working on Roban MD500. And I keep asking him to keep us updated because he's going to take it out for Maiden. He started about 2 weeks ago. We shared pictures. He just did an unboxing sort of in pictures. So I like seeing all this stuff, you know, as it comes together. And last week we shared, like, he showed some of the internals. Nice and clean setup he's got going. And looks like he's got really, you know, great internal parts. Going to be rock and rolling. And I can't wait to see this one up. I really like the MD500. That's like... It seems to be the Avanti of Roban helicopters. It's like everybody, that's the sport, the go-to sport sort of helicopter for scale flyers, I guess would be the MD500. You know, prior to going 3D. You Weedman, the yellowing was just, I guess, you know, an issue with a batch of paint, but, you know, I think most of the yellowed ones were sold at a discount, and I think that's settled. Any new shipments coming in, it'll be back to the way it was. I think most of that stuff moved, I think, from what I can tell already. But either way, looking good, Stuart. Love that. And then Stahl Peterson got himself an OV10. Like to see it. And then he was asking questions, trying to, in the chat, saying his felt a little underpowered, so Justin Law helping him out in there. So hopefully they solve that. But, you know, it's always weird when you got two different people with two different opinions of the setup. But, you know, all good. And Scott Greenfield, man. I love your background. Your background is incredible. Did we have a 64mm F16? I don't think we did. Did we? I mean, we have the 70mm F16, which is still there, Arctic camo for the gray. But I don't think we had a 64mm F16. Thinking maybe another brand. And then Scott Greenfield, he also had the F22 out there. And then that one, but we all love that Corsair so much. Unbelievable. Yeah, little smoky skies, but the sun, you get that nice sunset. It's unbelievable. I don't get those sunsets around here. A lot of hills where I'm at and trees, so you don't really get those open unless you go to a lake. You get that horizon. It looks beautiful. Then we got, let's see this one. This was Robert Gregory. He had his F4, and now let me see. It's still hearing me while this is going. Take off. I think this was a maiden, but he shared it. I'm just going to skim through.
So good.
This was the whole video. I didn't get a chance to cut it, but thought the landing for a maiden. This is about the best you could hope for.
Okay, here we come.
I'll take it. He saves it right at the end. I'll be quiet now.
Look at that. Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh. Nice.
Love that. That last bit of thrust just gave him enough to control that descent. So that was really cool. Love seeing that. Robert, that was awesome. Glad you're sharing in the chat. Share more. Love to see your progress as you go through. That was a good save. I was watching that like, oh man, he's coming a little hot. Pitching, and then just enough. Just enough there. Then we got Mikhail Olofsson, who was whipping around his gripping, as we like to talk. We like to say since the gripping came out, but love that. I don't know if he's thrust vectoring or not, but either way, he's got the high alpha down pat. So, I got the buttons. I forgot. Which button is this? Oh, that's the like and subscribe button. There it is. Gonna have Alex change that out to a gripping. Oh, perfect timing too on the pass. Nice. But looking good, man. Cal Olofsson, love that share, and unbelievable. Keep it up. See, this is what I got. I wish I had time to go out. This is what I want to practice. I should be able to do that within the boundaries of my field. But I'll get there. All right, moving on. We had let's get to the picture first. But Melvin White and Patrick Charlesworth at the Apollo. So this is Victor country, and at one point Alpha country, I believe. Or am I wrong? Is this the wrong Apollo field? But either way, they got turbine A4s, twin turbine A4s, and I love the scheme on, which I believe is Patrick's on the left. That looks awesome. So absolutely love seeing that. And then they did release a video, but the volume. I think there was music on that, so I got to take the volume out. Hit you, but I'm going to skim a little forward. Let's see. Let's get to the takeoff. Usually I have Alex for all this stuff. Yeah, the orange one is nice. My country. There it is. High Alpha is love. High Alpha is life. That sounds like a t-shirt. Air Guardian. I think you just found your new t-shirt, baby. Or that might be your 15th YouTube channel name. That would be great. You need another YouTube channel for sure. But love the sound on these. It comes through. But either way, Melvin White, Patrick, they look awesome. Go check them out. Get into the Facebook customer community and check those out for sure. Then I'll transition back to me. Sorry, doing this all by myself. Doing it decently, I think. It's always better to miss having Alex. Then we had MD80HA. I don't know, it's just the name that I put, but working on a Flightline Mustang, and it looks like instead of, spray paint, he was using some paint markers. So he ended up, sprucing up the Flightline Mustang, and looks like it worked pretty well. I like the finish outcome on that. By going to, go to this scheme with just the paint pens. So that's very, probably a good way to do it. Probably get a nice straight line. Probably hold something there maybe a little easier, but just a little different. And since, this Mustang's not that big, paint marker, give you enough, definitely give you what you need to get it done. So I love it. Sweet. So then moving on, we had, what was this one? Oh, Martin Ritter. I saw this video come through. I think he was flying around his MiG-21. Was he high alpha in his MiG-21? I forget. I think I wrote MiG-21. Yep. Love it. Oh, get low. This was the get low one. I like that. Let's rack it back. Somebody always said, lower. You always got to go lower. Never low enough. But looking good, Martin Ritter. Happy to see that as well. Then we move on. Kenneth, Kenneth Howard just got your regular F4. So on an F4 day where John Killen got at least one coming. I know you love F4s. It's just your standard out of the box, and it still looks good. In the scheme that it's already in. Just need to weather it up. But Kenneth Howard, excited with his F4. I would be too. And then lastly, Jim Jets, he always shares a lot on Facebook. He got himself a Vulcan too. I think he gets one of everything that comes out. He's one of those guys, and love him for it. I think he's the one who flies at his own field. It's awesome, like his backyard. He's got a field in his backyard, and can't beat that. So Jim, hope you're loving the Vulcan, and glad you shared that you got it as well. So let's transition here and make sure when I do the transition. Hey, we're transitioning to YouTube, and we'll get to. Oh, I gotta surprise myself with the sub spin and win. Should we let's do the sub spin and win? I can do that. Let me make sure I've got this. This is off. We want to do that one, and we want to do that. So ready? 3, 2, 1. We are gonna sub spin and win. All right, bringing it in. Now we're going to do our winner reveal. Who's the big winner of the sub spin and win? Episode 36. Let us see. Ed Souls, come on down. I need that whole Ed Souls. You are the lucky winner of today's sub spin and win. So this next spin will be for you. Let me just make sure I do this. So wheel's right next to me, and I got my close up of the wheel. So here we are. Last week we gave away an OV10. I think the week before was a Vulcan. It's getting crazy. But, all right, Ed Souls, this one's for you, sir. It's a coffee mug, Ed Souls, in between a Vulcan and a Havoc. Ooh, the wheel was not feeling it today, but hey, Ed Souls, thank you so much for being a subscriber. Thank you so much for being a customer, and all you have to do to claim your prize is contact Motion RC at contest@motionrc.com. You got to email us, and that would be the best way for you to claim your prize. I'll put the, I got to put the winner at the bottom. There he is, sorry. So that you can see it. Ed Souls, claim your mug, baby. It's a nice mug. It's definitely a sexy mug. So, you know, you're going to want that to drink coffee. You'll never want to drink coffee out of any other mug. But this one, I promise. But awesome. So, some days it goes like that. I guess today I should have got an F4 on the wheel, actually. That's what I should have did. Then it probably would have won. So that's my fault, everybody. But Ed Souls, congratulations on your big win. So now let's get into YouTube. I had a lot of, you know, because I knew I was going to be by myself. Obviously, I can't be messing around unboxing anything without Alex here or anything like that. We didn't get out to fly since, you know, he's been busy. But I saw this one pop up this morning. Essential RC. You guys know Essential RC. Now, he had music on this, but just had an awesome chase video that came out of him and Avanti. You know, again, Essential RC needs no introduction from our small channel, you know, to his channel. But Dom's a great dude, and this was just a great video. Unbelievable footage being captured. You know, really going hard at it. And it's an Avanti, so opening up, you do with it basically ever you want. Air Guardian, I knew Air Guardian would chime in. He probably loved this. They're probably watching your channel a little bit too much. And sometimes our channel. But it looks awesome. There he is. Dom's in the chat. That's you, my man. I love that. That's it's adding such an experience. Now it's Soul Productions, so at the beginning they got themselves like, this is our hobby, especially flying planes, caters to that chase footage so much, you know, like that's really what it's come down to with our hobbies. Either onboard isn't as exciting, I think, as the chase stuff. So if there's one guy at your field who has an interest in drones, push him over the limit to get that one so he could chase you guys around the field, because the footage always looks awesome to see it in the air. And Dom's got a great channel there, so definitely go check Essential RC. Links to all the videos you're about to see are in the description of this video, so you can go check them out, give them the likes, give them the views. You know, I watched that one with my first cup of coffee. I'm on number 3 now, this morning, and I enjoyed it. So thanks, Dom. Now Arthur RC is back. Love what Arthur's doing on his channel.
Let's go.
French.
Increase slowly the
coming out
power.
of France, so he does a lot in native tongue, but I could tell,
And up she
tell
goes.
that, you know, he's given good, detailed information, and then flying, you know, the aircrafts just as well. So this time he's got the Flightline Corsair, and, you know, it's like a baby's toy to him, but I love flying my Flightline Corsair, and he even says in the video, he's like, relaxing. And that's exactly how I feel when I fly the Flightline Corsair. I'm relaxed and at peace. Same thing with the Spitfire or any Warbird. To me, they're just, that's my favorite.
It's so relaxing.
And in that, that's my total comfort zone, is just flying like that. Relaxing for yourself. Unbelievable. Plus French lessons. Exactly. You could try to make out some French. And then he puts in a beautiful landing. So Arthur RC, always love seeing your content, man, and it's awesome. So thank you so much for putting out that video, and everybody needs to go follow Arthur-RC. Then we got MRJD Crow. Where's he at? He might be here, but you know, he's the guy. He put he put out this great video. He turned his Flightline B-24 into the scheme you see, the Southern Comfort, and he also added the scale bomb drop. He's the one that customized one for his B-24. Others have done it, but he went out and got a good video of it happening. So you definitely want to head over there, and you can watch the whole full flight.
Taking off left or right.
I got a little bit of it here, but you see it when it, when the bombs drop. I always love that. And you get a B-24. This is what you want to do with it, right? Like, now you can do candy drops with it. You can do all that stuff. Just one super non-scale path. Would love a B-24 to fly. You can have so much fun with the B-24. That's what I like about it. Is I like that it's overpowered, because after you're done with these passes, you can still have some fun with it. You can flip that thing all over. But here it is in super slow-mo with his bomb drop. I slowed it down for you, MRJD Crow, and there it goes. And you put a little black and white on top of that, a little vintage flare effect, and you could almost, I'm sure you could make it look almost realistic with some After Effects work. Alex could probably do it. I'll have to get him on it. But MRJD Crow, awesome share, man. Love that video, and glad you did that to the B-24 because it looks so good. Such a good model too. Then we got Just Wing It back again, and this time it's with Brent Hecht and Justin Link were the pilots. They were both flying MiG-29s.
Yeah, Brent and Justin.
Together.
Got the MiG Mafia. They call these guys the MiG Mafia right here.
I forget where this is. I always forget where this is. Southern California, I believe. I always get confused with Utah and Southern California. But this looks awesome. I love when you get two in the air. Never easy to, to stay together. But again, Just Wing It. Another great RC channel. I like he's good behind the camera, and his commentary is always funny too. I like his commentary. But here they are coming around. You should be able to hear a little bit of him speaking. MiG Mafia, that's what they said in the video. Yep. They said they're MiG Mafia. They need their MiG Mafia shirts. Get them on Teespring now.
The Luftwaffe.
Actually, can
got
I find
the aircraft from the Eastern Air Force? They flew them for a while.
Oh, here we go. MiG Mafia.
Look at that. Good looking.
Pin up. See if it pins.
Oh, shoot.
There it is.
Who just landed? Oh, okay. I was following the
Pinned
flying ones. I didn't even know you were landing.
But either way, looking great. As always, Just Wing It, and definitely check out his channel. Then Scott Greenfield, Jeff Leisure's doing you justice with his YouTube channel. So that's the one that I saw pop up as well. This time it's on your Griffin. I don't think I've ever seen your Griffin in the air on video. I mean, I might have had. Bear with me. I see so many that it's almost impossible for me to remember. But I know your Griffin with this scheme on it, but I don't think I've ever seen it in the air. And Jeff does a great job tracking, following it close enough where you can see it, you can see what's happening. And either way, it's such a cool scheme. As great as it is to see these custom schemes, on the ground, it's always better to see them in the air. I love seeing them in the Absolutely love that. He's doing great stuff over there. Jeff Leisure. Definitely want to give him a follow. Again, link in the description of this video. Looking really good. I'm still blown away now thinking about it. I keep seeing the $4.99 up at the top there. And unbelievable, Jeremy Solt. It's unbelievable. And of course, also Guy Hurst, thank you so much for the $49.99. I see that's up there as well. Unbelievable. John, I hope this, hope your weekend was at least made. I hope you feel a little better today than you did maybe yesterday with that one. So, it's awesome. So that'll do it for Jeff Leisure. Now we are on to, the Black Star FPV demo team was back at it again. And I really love this video.
There we go.
Because in the video, he just talks about how the BAE Hawk, good FPV starter jet. But if you go to this video, check the link in the description of this video. They got a link to a whole blog of the entire process of turning your jet, of converting your first jet into an FPV platform. So anybody who wants to, you know, if you're getting the itch, which, you know, that's what these videos do. They always give, something gives everybody the itch to go get something. But, you know, it's a great basis to start from. If you go check out, click the link in the description that'll take you to this video. Then within the description of this video will be a link to the blog. And he just explains, you know, how he accomplished, you know, how somebody wanting to do it their first time can do it. And take it from Motion Sick and Black Star FPV demo team and everybody out there. You know, they're leading the way right now on FPV and jets. So jump on the bandwagon with the thought leaders in that department. So that's really cool. Then my favorite YouTube channel. I love the way this guy flies, and one day I'll pronounce this, but I'm terrible with this one. But he had an F4. So he, you know, was always fine. I think we've seen him fly around the Spitfire numerous times. He always flies the Spitfire so well. Now he's got himself a big, bad, dirty jet. And nice Phantom, too. And in honor of sort of John Killen, you know, I'm glad we're not now rubbing it in his face with F4s, because you're going to have another F4 coming at least, John. At least. That you didn't have to worry about. So you'll be doing this very, very soon. Once again. Hopefully. That's awesome. So good work. Arcadoos. Terrible. That's the name. The link is in the description now, though, so you don't have to try to type that in. You know, have some fun. And RC Patriot was one that came across Facebook, and he's flying out of Norway and flying around his MiG-21. And I really like this. Just a beautiful location. Location almost looks like the same field that Air Guardian you fly out of, but I believe in his video, this guy's video, he says he's in Norway, and you know, then he's nowhere near you. But either way, stunning location. Looks like a stunning place to be able to drive up to and fly anything around with that grass field and that view in the background. Absolutely stunning. And he puts in, I always got to show the landings. I go 1 or 2 passes, then landing. You want to see the whole flight, you head to their video and watch the whole thing. But that looked awesome. So RC Patriot, thank you so much for sharing that. And last but not least, he's in the chat. Air Guardian, you finally did it. This was a video I think a lot of people wanted to see. 13-minute video, but like right now I have the whole flight here. I'm going to lower the volume a bit. But he's got a hands video, so he's put a camera on his stick, and it's mesmerizing to watch. You fly, Alejandro, with the, you know, watch your sticks. And then, you know, I was actually, when I watched this yesterday, I grabbed my sticks and I was holding them, trying to fly your aircraft. Because I especially love the way you do your rollout. It's like you swing the butt around of the, you swing the tail out a little bit. And I like it. You sort of, you know, I was watching your right thumb, you're like down and you like sort of down and swoop. The movements you make are, you know, are awesome, just in that they're, you know, so certain, I guess, if you will. I'm running out of the words, but like direct. Like, you know where you want to go, you're right there. But sometimes, you know, the way they roll out. But this is a video I'm going to start watching more and more of. I love this stuff. And this really helps. You know, I do this on my sticks, but I'd be teaching people how to do it the wrong way. But, yep, short impulses to raise the nose before it rolls. Like that. Love that. I love how you do it. So, you know, this is fantastic. And yeah, the pinch, because it's funny, you can see thumbs shaking like most people's thumbs. I don't know why. Mine do the same thing. But that top finger, you know, I guess also helps you. And that's why I need about 20, I like to have about 20 expo, because I know my thumbs do a little shake. So I put in just enough expo to really make sure that that doesn't affect, you know, my flying. You can be a little loose around the middle. Not too loose. But either way, man, I could watch this all day. Oh, RC Tommy, where you at? I have to check your channel, man. I don't think I've seen something pop up in a bit. Maybe I just missed, but I got you on subscribe as well. I haven't seen Jan and Frode. You guys haven't popped up on the show in a bit. Look at that. I absolutely love this, man. Just, again, a gorgeous flight. See, nice, holding the nose right up. And then, look, the direct movement in the roll. Quick and back to center. Like, timed so beautifully. And I give you credit on the Photoshop skills as well. Keeping it in a little circle that's with the feathered edge. I noticed there, Guardian. I noticed. Now, you have a camera on your neck strap looking down. Because what we did when we do these sometimes was we actually physically mounted the GoPro to the transmitter so that no matter where the transmitter went, it was always in view. But that's not always the easiest. You gotta sort of rig something up to sort of stick on it. But man, with the sticks now, I could probably watch the full 13 minutes of your video. Sometimes they're a bit long, but they're always beautiful. Great information. Look at this. I'm going all the way to landing. We're watching the full flight, baby. The full first flight, because I think there's 3 flights on this video. This was just the first one. If you want to see more, head on over. But look at them coming in. Throttle control, throttle's down, back up a little bit where he needed it, and then down and on. Love it. Love it. Air Guardian, that was beautiful video there. So there you have it. That wraps up our YouTube tour. And just to touch base, if you're just tuning in, I see we got 146 people watching the show right now. We had gotten up to close to 200. You could hit the like button, that'd be awesome. But earlier in the show, we had a friend of the show, John Killen, had just a tragedy. Nobody got hurt, thank goodness. So it could have been so much worse. But all his stuff, he lost all his stuff, all his fun toys, to a fire, and the community just banded together to get him some much needed product, to get him an F. So today's been an amazing day right off the bat, and unbelievable. So now I'm gonna move on, because I don't know if you guys noticed, and I just want to tease. Next week when Alex is back, we have something fun to show, that some new additions, if you will, to the website. I don't know if you guys noticed. Now I'm losing it. There is a new tab at the top of motionrc.com, and you'll see toys and education. So all things motion, in motion, and STEM is something that we 100% care about. I know I do. I've got young kids. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. I even call it STEAM. Throw the A in there for art. But we're getting a lot of these robotics now. All sorts of things great for kids to get into. Help them become, sort of these type of things is what creates the passions to become, an engineer or, a builder, to take an interest. If you're, I have a few children who are interested. They have an interest in science. So this is the type of stuff that, hey, try this, and you get into it. Again, Lego, things like that. But Alenko, a lot of great stuff coming, and I'm going to have a few of these, I hope, on the table next week so we could delve in for maybe 15 minutes and, show a few of them, of course. But we're excited to have these on the website. Again, anything in motion, and especially things that can help like this. But, really, really cool. The circuits. Kids, young kids enjoy this stuff. Coding is awesome too, but it's awesome. Alex Tees thought he was the Alex everyone was shouting out. Oh, Alex, well, it is you too. Don't feel bad, but no, Alex, my producer, cameraman, editor extraordinaire, has the day off today, so I'm doing this, on the wing. But that's really funny. But anyway, check out that that whole new category. It's in its own, area, is sort of going to be building up. And again, next week we'll have more information on that, or definitely, the emailer as well. But we're excited to see all that stuff, Said always something new, something for everyone. And now something that can hopefully spark the interest in, the youth, because that's what we need. That's what the world needs. And my chair was sinking. No wonder I was getting lower. But awesome. So that's that. Now let's move on to, because we got about 10 minutes. I'll hang with you guys another 10, 15 minutes. So let me fade into our, oh, no, it went back to that one. Hold on. Questions and answers. Oh, no, we're there. Questions and answers. There it is. So let's see. Now I got the live chat. Sorry, 2 screens working back and forth. But get into live chat if you guys have any questions. Where's my... Oh, now I'm forgetting your name. Earlier in the chat, Wings, are you still there? He posted a picture. He has a 2210 motor on the Hawk, but has 100 amp ESC on the Hawk, and then he has a 2210 motor on the Vulcan, but he has the stock 80 amp ESC, and when he ran the watt meter, he was getting like 72 watts on the 100 amp ESC one and 65 watts on the other. And was just asking, is there a problem? I don't think there's a problem with that, but the first thing I asked him was, have you tried swapping the ESCs, between the planes? Just unplug them, plug them in, then running the watt meter to see if the numbers then swap or not. If they don't swap, then maybe there was something to be, concerned about. But I don't know what would cause that. Amps. Sorry, amps. Well, he has watt meter, but he was reading the amps. 72 amps, sorry. And then 65. So he was getting 72 amps when he had the 100 amp ESC and 65 amps on the 80 amp ESC. But I don't know. I don't know what would cause. Same motor, but then again, I don't know, intake could change. And these are static tests. I don't know if they were static tests or in air. Batteries could be different. There's so many different factors that could, attribute. But it's awesome. Thanks, Scotty G. Thank you, man. New B17 next week. Really? You releasing it, Big Jim? Where's your website, man? I need a new B17. Andy Craig, I stuck in shipping somewhere. It left the warehouse. But the world shipping is crazy from the big stuff top down to small stuff. Crazy world we live in. Thanks for the comment on the video of the Vulcan. Oh, no problem. Oh, he's thanking Salt Productions. Yeah. Is MRC planning on expanding construction equipment line? Dig it RC. Dig it RC. Nice. You're here, man. Yeah, for sure. I think they, we want to at least expand the Huina, stuff we have. I'm sure they're going to be exploring other vendors to hopefully bring in, to distribute. And then, WL, who did that excavator, they have plans to expand into that space, and they're a great manufacturer as well. So, like right now we just have those 2 excavators, but I have the WL excavator with me here, but I could definitely see us expanding the construction lineup for sure. It's a cool niche. Definitely is a cool niche. George, no problem, man. Yeah, I mean, this show was, I didn't want to make it too crazy thing, but I love our tight-knit community, how we just came together and, definitely got the man something that's going to make his day a little brighter. And that's the best we can do, because we all saw that picture and we probably all immediately, I know I did, I immediately went down, where are all my lipos? I did, even though that might not be the reason, but, I just did another check. Going back, while we're here, so more, definitely more talk. Want to reiterate what we talked about in the safety chat. Head into the Hobby Squawk forum. Maybe I'll make another post on Facebook so people see it, but I want everybody to chime in. Just, I want to see pictures of people's lipo setups. How are you safely charging? How are you safely storing? I'd love to make a top 10 community-based video around lipo safety, coming from the community members, people who have skin in the game. Because anybody who has a lipo who's storing, you gotta be diligent with these. They're not, they're big boy stuff. And you can see things can get lost very fast in this world if that happens. But either way, we all looked at that and we all thought about our own stuff and said, as much as glad everybody's okay, it still stinks when you have to realize what you don't have, that, especially when, you're in this hobby. A lot of guys who are watching the show in this hobby, flying is your escape. That's our escape. We don't go play golf. We don't go, we see sunny weather. We go to the field to fly, or we go out and drive a car. We're playing RC. I know I use it to think. And the fact that he couldn't even do that during this time, being all stressed out and can't even take 20 minutes to just go fly a plane, I'm hoping he does that. James T, the voltage you should store your lipos at is 3.8 you want in your batteries is about the safe bet. 4.2 being a fully charged battery, and if you're under 3.2, you basically have a dead battery. So it's I'd say it's like right in the middle there. But 3.8 is the number I look for, so 3.85, 3.75, I'm okay with that. But but I'm even diligent about, like, even if I fly about, like, so if I go to the field, I'll charge up. So obviously work for this company. I have a good amount I have about 4 batteries of each size. And that gets us through a shoot. I know I could charge, I usually bring 2 charged to the field, and then, like, I'll start charging 2 when I'm there, and I sort of will keep charging if I know I'm going to keep flying. And then I try not to. I don't want to be left with batteries that are fully charged when I leave the field. I like to fly them all out if I can. Sometimes you can't do that. But even if I use a battery and I fly it down to 3.8, I will still throw it on the storage charge when I get home. All of them. All the ones that I take. So that it balances all the cells out to that even 3.8. And then I will put them away at that point. I 3D printed a lot of caps. If you guys go on Thingiverse, they have caps for the ends of your lipos, because you never know. I don't know, something, you have your lipo store, I don't know, mouse runs through your lipos and touches 2 connections. You would never know it, until you see the fire. So I have little caps that cover my connections, because you don't want, I know probably some of you have done this before. You have your battery plugged in from the charger and you pull out the 2 leads and accidentally touch them before you actually physically untouch the battery. You don't want to do that. There's a lot of safety first things, but 3.8 on storage charge, and if possible, keep them in an ammo box, keep them in something that can contain, a fire, because the smoke is bad enough, you don't want to breathe it in, but there's nothing that's going to put out a lipo fire, unless you got a whole lot of sand somewhere, and even that, it's just going to smolder and create almost lava until it's done. It's a lot of chemical reactions, so definitely do that. Just FYI, I had almost all my batteries and ammo cans in metal boxes charged on a heavy-duty hot plate for outdoor ovens. Cool. I saw somebody did that. They just grabbed I saw somebody grab, like, a barbecue that was off, on the side of the road and just turned it into their charge station. I've seen that before, which is kind of, a good idea. Like a brick oven be, amazing. Big Jim, I mean, I could totally see caps being something that is sold on the Benchcraft line. We would just have to find a supplier. But Alpha, get on that. I think it's a good little thing, like a stocking stuffer type thing you could just grab on your way out. But I 3D printed like 40 of them for EC5s, XT60s, and it's great. It just, nice little cover, so even because I know sometimes in my battery box, like, I don't know, it's dumb, but I might throw, like, a little screwdriver or something, not like nothing sharp, obviously, but even if the metal were to touch somehow, you never know. There's all sorts of stuff from that. Oh, Jeremy Salt has a permanent black spot in my eyes from banana plug accidental connection. Ugh. Chip issues, maybe time for health kits if they come back. Maybe worth it to cover those too if they don't come protected from the factory. Full box. Yeah, and as Alpha's saying, remember, getting into this hobby, there's safety everywhere, right? We're standing around big motors, we're spinning sharp blades and propellers, we're putting heavy things in the air and fighting gravity for our own enjoyment. There's gonna be accidents. And the only thing you can do is your best to prepare, and it might still not be enough, but you do your best. Yeah, never get too comfy for sure. One thing I fear is propellers. I don't go anywhere near a propeller. I don't plug in. If I'm fixing a plane, I will take the time to take the prop off. I'm not going to mess around with a plugged in plane with my face or anything, my hands near a motor, because you just never know. definitely. Keep your fingers out of anything that spins. Yeah, good idea for sure. Yeah, and it's funny because you think this hobby like was built by, was started by what had to be some pretty patient people, and take some patience when you're out of the field. Don't rush, and that always helps too. Double, triple check things. I've pulled batteries off chargers and still, check them 2 seconds later, and then check them again before, because you just, who knows, we all start thinking about something. You don't want your hair caught in a motor. That would be rough. Those windings would spin up. Ooh. And beard. RC Tommy. Yeah, that picture, you look like ZZ Top. I don't know if that's you in that picture or who that is, but if that's you, then I love it even more. How am I going to spin the wheel then? Speaking of, I know people want me to put this wheel on a motor and spin it up, with the throttle, and then, cut the throttle and let it wind down. I'd have to figure out how to do that. Now it's jerry rig a whole thing behind it. Works pretty good as is. Turn a resistance check quick tip video, as well as discharge disposal video. Now, discharge and disposal is an important thing too. I saw a lot of people, talk about salt water not being really effective unless you can physically slit open the battery to make sure the salt gets in the battery. If anything, you might just corrode the connections without even getting into the battery. So, in truth be told, the best way to dispose of LiPo batteries is take them somewhere that knows how to dispose them. That would be your best bet, even if you got to pay a little money for it, rather than trying to do it on your own. I wouldn't even make a recommendation right now. Try to do it on my own. I've done it in the past where I put them in salt water and just left them there for a month. And I just assumed. I never tried to plug them into anything because I didn't want to then destroy something that I could check them with. But run them over with a big, let's not do that, So people say they take them to the shooting range, and, I wouldn't even do that. That's bad for the environment. Smoke. You're nowhere near it. Nowhere near LiPo smoke. I disposed of 20 real fast. Wouldn't advise it though. John! Oh, man. At least you got your sense of humors here, so I love that. I'm going to switch this over to, in closing, guys. As always, because it's now 1:02, and, I love these Fridays, love talking to you. Glad we got through the show, and I'm just so happy of what the show turned about. Another great example of, the community, rallying up to help one of our own. So John, we're all thinking about you. I definitely thought about you, sent prayers and such for that, because that must have been, just awful to come outside to see that. I don't even know how it might have happened, how you first, were aware of. You just looked out the window and said, oh no. But either way, that was terrible to see. And, I thank everybody, whether you donated $1 or you donated $500, unbelievable what this community can do. That's what we do. Great. I wanted to do something. I had, a couple people messaged me that day. Vic, I saw your message. Dave Air Marshal, and I knew I wanted to do something, but, wanted to do it from our end, best way we could possibly do it. So, great. Oh, Alex T. That's awesome, man. I'm so happy that, an hour of your time spent, with me is keeping your stress down. I'd have to rewatch it myself and see if it does the same for me, or just more stressed out watching myself. Is there any black hours? You mean black horse containers on the water? I'm not sure. At my head, in U.S., most Lowe's locations have LiPo recycling. Perfect. That's the best thing you can do to dispose of a LiPo. And I will say, I don't mess around. If I have a little puffiness on a LiPo, I'm not gonna risk it. It's not worth it. The price of that LiPo, you might look at, I don't want to spend another $100, but look what you might have to spend if you don't. Battery's puffy. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get a new one. Don't risk it. I've seen people at the field with batteries that literally look fat and round, and you're just like, that was a square. Like, if you had a growth on your face, you'd want to take care of it, right? You wouldn't just let it grow and till it pops. You're gonna do something. You know, treat it with respect. See one that's, you know, even iffy, if you're unsure about it, get rid of it. The best thing you could do, you know, make it not your problem at all. But all right, guys, John, much love to you, my man. Fantastic that we were able to do that for you. Everybody else, I'll be back with Alex right here next Friday, as always, for what will be episode. Oh, I need Alex, Big Jim. Don't you mess around. I don't want to have to do this again. It was a pain in the butt setting this all up and making sure it all works. Alex does it on the spot. Need my man, Alex. You know, it's like Batman and Robin, and I feel like Robin sometimes, but I need him here. But either way, thank you everybody for joining. Community's amazing. John, you'll probably get an email from us hopefully today. If not, it'll be at the start of next week. It depends on how crazy the warehouse is on this Friday after the show. But GB, there you go. But again, everybody, thank you so much. Have yourselves an amazing weekend. If you're flying, if you're driving, sailing, or boating, whatever you're gonna do, RC, have some fun, and hopefully the weather's good for you. And as always, thank you all so much for your likes, for the super chats today, and being a part of this great. I will see you all next week. And on that note, I'm gonna now figure out how to end the show. Bye, guys. Oh, that wasn't it. Was that it? That wasn't it. See, now I'm still here. And back to the in-closing screen, because that didn't work. You know what? You're gonna stay with me for a second. Where? Oh, is that it? Look at this. Which one is it? Oh, that's the problem. So let's do. I think I got it. Is this it? See, I'll come back for a second. See, I figured it out, but it's really, really, really funny that I almost didn't get a different video up there. But guys, love you all. See you next Friday. Bye, guys.